The year was 2287, and humanity had been part of the Galactic Accord for 31 years. 31 years of following rules. 31 years of asking for respect. 31 years of being told to wait, to be patient, to prove themselves worthy. And for 31 years, the other species in the Accord had smiled at humans the way adults smile at small children who do not yet understand the world. The Galactic Accord was old, far older than anyone on Earth could truly imagine. It had been built 800 years ago by species who had been sailing the stars while humans were still learning to write. It had 47 member civilizations, each with its own fleet, its own history, and its own idea of how the galaxy should be run. At the top of it all sat the Grand Council, a body of elected representatives from each species, meeting every few years on a station so large it could hold a small city inside its walls. Humanity had joined the Accord in 2256, after first contact was made with the Velhari, a tall, blue-skinned people who communicated in layered tones and viewed time as a circle rather than a line. The Velhari had been kind, in their own distant way. They had guided humans through the entry process, helped them translate the Accord's thousands of pages of laws and treaties, and explained, gently, what it meant to be a Tier 3 species. Tier 3 meant new, it meant young, it meant allowed to trade, allowed to settle new colony worlds, allowed to send representatives to the Grand Council, to speak, but rarely to vote. And it meant something else, something written in thick legal language, buried deep in the Accord's founding charter. Tier 3 species were not permitted to construct, maintain, or operate warships. No fleet weapons, no military-grade hull plating, no mass destruction armaments of any kind. The official reason was always the same. Young species were unpredictable. Their histories were violent. They needed time to mature before they could be trusted with weapons that could burn moons. Ambassador Yara Osei had heard that reason so many times she could recite it in her sleep. She was a tall woman with close-cropped gray hair and eyes that had seen enough to make most people look away. She had spent 15 years representing Earth at the Grand Council, and she had learned very quickly that respect there was not something that was given. It was something that the powerful allowed the weak to believe they had. On the 14th day of the Third Assembly of 2287, she stood at the center podium of the Grand Council chamber and made the case, again, for humanity's right to self-defense. The chamber was enormous, a great curved bowl of polished stone with hundreds of seats rising in tiers on all sides. Every seat was filled. Representatives from 46 species watched her as she spoke. She kept her voice level. She used the Accord's own language, her words translated in real time by the small device clipped to her collar. She spoke about the raids on the Verith frontier. She spoke about the 3 human colonies that had been attacked in the past 18 months. She spoke about the people who had died. Human colonies on the Verith frontier had been growing for a decade. Verith was a cluster of systems on the